Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm your host D-Day, bringing you some more Oritech Academy. More specifically, today I'm going to show you guys my Oritech Particle Accelerator setup. So by a couple of requests by subscribers to the challenge, some of you guys want to see me put together the Particle Accelerator all the way up to 15,000. So I'm going to separate these episodes to 500, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, and 15,000. And the main reason why I'm going with multiple episodes is because my Particle Accelerator setup goes with expanding circles. So if you're looking at it, the center circle goes up to 800 joules. It ejects into the next circle, which does 2,500 joules. Then ejects into the next circle for 5,000 joules. And then it expands into the final circle, which I had to break down to go all the way up to 15,000 joules, which ends up with the end portal, so the end incursion, and the Oritech black hole, which here I'm using a vanilla cobblestone generator to create massive amounts of passive power. So as you know, when you go to the Particle Accelerator, hover over it and hit U for use, it shows you all of the collisions you can do of the two items turning into the third with a minimum collision energy. Some of them are unnecessary, like the diamond, for example, because we do have a way to generate unlimited diamonds. But there are some recipes that could be used earlier that are beneficial. The one for 800 joules, I'm looking at 500 joules required to make enderic compound from all of your extra rotten flesh and the redstone we're getting from the bedrock extractor. So if you had a mob farm and you were getting a bunch of rotten flesh, you can turn it into enderic compounds by colliding them with a minimum force of 500 with redstone. So that's what we're going to do today. The inner circle, my design, goes up to 800. So I'm not going to change that. So this bottom one is up and running. I have figured out how to automate the 2,500 and the 5,000. And this guy up here, we use this one to do the nether incursion. And now I would say it's about time to rip this one down and start getting rid of unnecessary Oritech machines and optimizing the ones we have for the end game challenges, which little teaser down there after the Particle Accelerator setup episodes, I'll show you guys my tree farm and my cobblestone farm. But enough tangents, let's go ahead. I'll break down the center and then I'll rebuild it for you guys, just like I said I would. And what's really great is by breaking this guy down, I can show you exactly what you need. You need one Particle Accelerator, you need 10 of the Particle Accelerator linear motors, you need 9 of the Particle Accelerator guide rings, 9 pieces of redstone dust, a redstone comparator, and a Particle Accelerator sensor. The rest is going to be energy pipes. I'm going to go ahead and chop down the dropper system too, because that's what I'm going to use. And then I can tell you guys what we need for that as well. And for that, we're going to need one chest, one item pipe, a dropper, 3 birch trapdoors, or any trapdoors you think look great, 6 blocks to climb upon, and a hopper. And then, of course, the redstone to climb all the way up this device. Also, let's not forget another Particle Accelerator. So all the way over here, I have already painstakingly mined out a 4x4 chunk radius. So in this mod pack, F3 and G shows chunk borders. I went ahead and I put a single chunk loader in each one so that it's always up and running. And I've mapped out the center already of where I want to place this guy. So I'm going to be working with a 4x4 chunk area. In the center, the design you're going to go with looks like this. So the sides will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each, and the corners will have 1 in between. Then also, you're going to be going from the second to last block right here in a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 to the last block here. All right, so now we're going to set this guy up. In this block, we're going to turn it. And in this block, we're going to turn it. And it jumps over this one block. This next one is going to be one of the guide rails and the motor that hugs it. 2 linear motors. Boom, boom. Then we're going to turn here again and go here, jumping over this one block. Motor, motor, motor. Same thing. We're going to jump over this block here, one block. Motor, motor, motor. And again, we're going to jump over this one block here. And then this is different. Motor, motor, particle accelerator sensor. This guy is going to be sensing the redstone signal, which we then need the comparator for. So the comparator goes here. It compares the signal of the particle accelerator sensor. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So now when the particle starts accelerating, the faster it gets, the more redstone signal it will send off. And this is the exact distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When it gets fast enough to register the speed of 9 redstone strength, it will trigger this guide ring to aim straight. Super important for next episode, because that's how we're going to purposefully eject the particle into the next ring. So for right now, we're going to interrupt this signal because I want to show you guys how to make automated 500 joules. Like I said, this one will go up to 800, but as long as it's over 500 for the collision, it will succeed. So what I thought when I was first learning about particle accelerators, I thought it'd be a great idea to make both of them do half. But I realized that when you throw them at each other, it gets confused where the collision actually happens. In which ring is it actually happening in, so that it sends that product to the corresponding particle accelerator. And it just did not work. I could not get it to be reliable. This way, the way we do it like this, we're going to float it in going 1 joule after one circle has completed all of the power required. So we're going to put one straight here, and then it'll be able to hop over one gap, and we can go all the way to here. A particle accelerator with no speed can make one gap. So here what we're going to do is we're going to do our hopper. Boop. I'm going to put down some nickel so that I can put down the trapdoors real quick. Boop, boop. And I do this because I have a magnet on my character, and I don't want it picking up the items while it drops. And then what I'm going to do above this guy is I'm going to point the dropper down. All right, so for this example, we're going to put 2 blocks here, 1 here, so that we can put 1 here, 1 here, and then 1 right there. Since we're not working on ejecting the particle into the next ring, what we're going to do is we're going to interrupt, and we're going to go underneath the middle here. Boop. And open this up so that we can come up over here. So we're going to come up right here and turn the corner. Like so. And I went ahead and I got some redstone repeaters and a whole lot of redstone dust for this part, because the way I like to configure it is I like to run my entire redstone to make sure that it does all of the turns and stuff the way I want it to. It'll come up here and it'll trigger the dropper right here. So looking at the line, yeah, it looks like the line is doing pretty well. We can fill in this spot, but this one does need to stay open. I have learned that if we close this, now it won't send the redstone signal down anymore. So this one does have to be open. And of course, what we have to do is now we have to add power to all of these guys. And for the middle one, I do like putting it on the outside row. That way it is right in here. All right, so I do like using the framed ones to make it flush. So one right there, one right here, one right here, and then this one will go right here. We'll connect the top. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. And boop, boop. And then here is my crazy main line that goes back to the base. Now they are, yep, they're all filling up with power. These guys can hold a lot of power, so depending on your RF generation, it might take a little bit of time. All right, so they all have a little bit of power in it, and for this example, this isn't going to be that important for the battery to always be full. But one thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we are pulling the product out. So it has to be pulled out, or else the item will get stuck here and it will no longer create new ones. All right, so we're going to do one test run, and we'll put one rotten flesh up here, and when we'll send one redstone through this setup here. This is the important part. We have our redstone repeaters ready. And now we're going to watch this guy go up to 500 and then find the sweet spot for the repeater. $500. And let's see, where is it? Right about here. So that first one, I couldn't get to it fast enough, and it did fail. But that's fine because it's only one piece of redstone. Particle exited at 840. So let's try it again. And now it should trigger the redstone repeater at 500, which will light up all of the redstone and activate the dropper. There you go. And now it dumps the item. Boom! Perfect. Let's see, was it at the right spot? It was. Enderic compound. And we could test it by scooting it forward just one. And let's see if that will still function, because we got to the 500 very fast. So let's test it one more time by scooting the redstone repeater forward. Actually, I need to put one more rotten flesh in here for this test. Boop. And then let's test it out again with the redstone. There we go. It triggered it. And boom. Let's see, did we get another Enderic? No, we did not. And it collided at 401. So we triggered it too quickly. 401 on both of them. So the sweet spot, it is right here. We need to break the one we just moved. This is the ideal location. And then same thing, we can cover it up to about here. We can't cover the actual hole. Now, with the way it's triggered, we can put 33 rotten flesh in here and put the same amount of redstone into this guy here. 33. And now every time it triggers the redstone repeater, it will throw a rotten flesh into this circle, which will collide right here reliably every single time. And it will create the Enderic compound one at a time. Boom! And, yep, Enderic compound. It's working, guys. What's great is the batteries are now empty. And I have found out that, the hard way really, that the battery being full actually causes more grief than the batteries being completely empty. When they're empty, all of the variables stay the same. When they're full, it sometimes accelerates the item to a speed where it exits before it collides. So with the netherite scraps, for example, I'll talk about it in that episode, we actually lose the first 4 pieces because they're being sent through the particle accelerator linear motors too quickly. It's when all of the batteries are empty that it becomes reliable. So really the buffer on the linear motors, it is a variable that causes some particle accelerators to not work right. Boom! I really love that sound. It's really cool. Yep, 3. Boom! There we go. Working to perfection. And if you wanted an eagle eye view, go ahead and pause the video here. All right, so we'll end the episode here. This is the very first ring towards the 15,000 joules required to make the black hole for Oritech. Next episode will be the 2,500 joule collision. Thank you so much for joining me today. Smash like to show your appreciation and consider leaving a boom in the comment section below. Also, click on my dude here to subscribe for more Let's Plays. Ooh.